How I took a year off without saving. So a couple years ago, I came back from vacation and decided I needed a break. So I gave my company 5 days notice and decided to take off about 2 to 3 months, but I ended up stretching that out for a year. Whenever people hear about this, they ask me, how was I able to do it? Did I have money saved up? Did I save up for years? Did I get an inheritance? Did my parents help me out? And the answer to all those questions is always no. How did I do it then? It's pretty simple. A few years before I decided to take this trip, I cut out a lot of major expenses. I was just at a point in my life where I decided not to waste money. And it wasn't because I didn't have the money, but it's because I didn't need to spend it. One of the major expenses I cut out was the need to have a car. I decided to move right downtown, a 6-minute walk from work. That way I didn't need a car, I didn't need to pay insurance, I didn't need to worry about gas, and it saved me tons of money. Not only was living downtown convenient, it had tons of perks. There was always free entertainment, there was always something to do. But that always brings up another question. Well, living downtown is just as expensive as having a car. And yes, downtown is very expensive. But I got a roommate. A coworker of mine had a friend that moved into town. She was a young professional as well. So it worked out perfect. We split everything 50-50. That's internet, that's cable, that was everything. So because of that, I was able to pay for all my expenses, all my necessary expenses, with just one of my paychecks. So things like rent, internet, cable, food, everything would be able to fall into that one check. And that left my second check open for something I called my extras. So extras were anything from weddings. At one point I got braces, anything extra that I needed to get, I'd be able to pay for with my second check. But what ended up happening was that if I didn't need to use the second check, I didn't, and it just sat there. Of course, now I'm into investing, so I would never just have money sitting there not earning interest, but at that time I did. So after a few months of not needing to use my extra check, I had about $8,000 to $9,000 saved. How did I make that last for a full year of traveling? That part wasn't as tricky. All I had to do was research. I asked people, I went to books, I went online, and I figured out where exactly it was that I can go that had a cheap cost of living. At the time, I was living in Vancouver, and as a lot of reports will tell you, it is the most expensive city in Canada. So I looked up where it was I could live and survive with just a minimum amount of spending, and somewhere that was also cheap to fly to. My research let me know that going to Central America would be my best bet. So after taking a cheap flight from Vancouver, then to Florida, then to Panama, I was finally in Central America. So I found myself on a beach, living in hostels, staying with friends, hanging out. And it was the best thing ever, the best break I could have ever taken. The total cost for all of this, less than $500 a month. It is possible. I'm just making this video for anyone who thinks that there's no way they could take time off. You can definitely do it, and it's not that hard to save.